Alan Jones Aquatic Center. It's a little quiet right now. We just have prelims finish up here on day 3 of the TYR Pro Swim Series in Knoxville, Tennessee. But it's going to be jumping again tonight for an electric night of finals. And we're going to be talking about all of that. Hello, everybody. I am Jeff Cummings, joined by my co-host, Caitlin Sandino. And Caitlin, I'm still buzzing about last night's swimming. I mean, this is a great way to start off 2019 with some great athletes putting up some great times.
Definitely, Jeff. You know, I was a little impressed because, actually very impressed. It's middle of January, and we're putting up times that I kind of expected a little bit later in the season. I know for myself during Christmas, I mean, I kind of took some time off. I talked about eating a lot of Christmas cookies. So while I was training, I wasn't in top shape coming into January. These swimmers definitely proved that they're ready to go. This is an important year. There was some fast swimming to kick off 2019.
Yeah, and of course, I think, you know, as we've talked about, you know, getting $1,500 for first place, I think that kind of motivates everybody to say, I'm not just going to be out there just to see what I can do. I'm going to try to win and get some money and really kind of just make a statement about what the kind of athlete I'm going to be in 2019.
Most definitely.
And I think one of the top athletes, obviously Katie Ledecky, 155 in the 200 freestyle in January. I know she just had a really good training camp in Colorado Springs, but I think it proved that the training went really well because it looked like it was easy speed. It didn't look like she was trying to force something, force that 155. It just looked so smooth and easy. Definitely,
and obviously very impressed with her time. And then to step up, you know, this meet's running pretty quick. It's a fast run meet. She wins the 400 IM afterwards. Pretty commanding lead in that as well. And that's a tough double, everybody. I mean, the 200 free is already, I think, in my opinion, exhausting.
Yes.
The 400 IM is no easy one either.
She knows.
I know. And to do that double and, like, you know, the timing of these swims is just so impressive.
Yeah, you have to be a mentally tough athlete to be able to do that, and Katie is as tough as they come.
Definitely. So we saw the distance, and then, you know, me personally, I was really impressed with Michael Andrews' 50 backstroke last night, breaking a Pro Series record that's been, you know, held for 3 years. And I know the 50s are, you know, not necessarily an Olympic event, but they're exciting, they're fun. I think the crowd likes to watch them. I like to watch them, and those finishes are just so crucial, and everything that goes into it.
Yeah, we're going to have him on tomorrow's show and after prelim, so we're going to talk to him about that.
Yeah, definitely.
Another one of my favorite races, the men's 100 breaststroke. Andrew Wilson, a stacked field, getting his head on the wall first.
He looks really good right now. And then we watching him in prelims this morning. He looks very strong. And then the competition in that race yesterday, that was a tight one, definitely.
Yeah, so let's take a look at that men's 100 breaststroke again. Andrew Wilson was the top qualifier. He's in lane number 4, and he had a really good start there. And, you know, the great thing about the breaststrokers, and he was next to Kevin Cordes, who has one of the best starts in the world, is that Andrew doesn't really try to panic to catch up to Kevin, but he just keeps reeling him in at the 50. And Andrew was first at the 50. And look at this, with 25 to go, it's still pretty tight. We got Andrew Wilson, Kevin Cordes, Nick Fink, Josh Pernot. I mean, these 4 guys could be battling for Olympic spots in 2020 with Michael Andrew and others. So it's just very impressive to see Andrew Wilson just stay patient, stay calm, and he looks really confident with what he just did.
And on the women's side, I was really impressed with Annie Laser going a best time, taking the win last night. She has to be very thrilled to be going to best time already and really kind of putting her name out there.
Yeah, and another swim that I was kind of surprised to see was Josh Pernot in that 400 IM, putting up such a good time for somebody who has, I don't think he's swum it in a few years. I think he swam it at the 2016 trials, but I haven't seen it. Yeah, and then after it, I think he said, I'm done. He's posted on Twitter, I'm done. No more 400 IMs for you. But, you know, I think probably the $1,500 he got from that took the sting out of it.
Yeah, you're swimming a race that took him, what, like 4 minutes, 20 seconds or so, and $1,500 and a win. And for the swim squads.
Yes, he really helped Camille Adams and her swim squads really do so well. So just to remind everybody, the swim squads, we got 4 teams highlighted by those 4 captains right there: Camille Adams, Elizabeth Beisel, Connor Yeager, and Maya Dorado. And look at that, we got a 5-point lead for Camille over Elizabeth Beisel, just based on 3 wins for the Adams family squad. Olivia Smoliga winning the 50 back, Kelsey Dahlia winning the great 100 fly, 57 again, and then Josh Pernot in that 400 IM, and then also Micah Summerall getting second in the 100 breast. So Camille's off to a good start. Maya Dorado still slips a little bit. She's way back there, but Maya Dorado, she knows how to finish.
Yeah, she's definitely. And you're already predicting your predictions for tonight that she's going to score a lot of points tonight. That's what's so fun about it. You could have this commanding lead off of day 1, but I mean, the whole other day here, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, she's got Simone, Manuel, Ryan Murphy. You never know what's going to happen.
And the whole season. Then we have so many stops. I mean, I remember I got really excited because I won one of my stops. I'm like, I got this, and I got third. You just never know, guys.
But again, you got a bronze.
I did. I'll take it.
Be happy with your bronze. butts. Yeah, breathe through your butts. All right, so it's just so much fun to be a part of USA Swimming. It really is, just to be in this environment, see all these people, and people that are people that I swam with are now coaching.
Yes.
And their kids are now swimmers.
Yes.
And the environment of the pool deck has really changed a lot. It's really become a lot more inclusive. We really are trying to get people of all shapes, sizes, colors, and creeds on the deck. And we've got National Junior Team Director Mitch Dalton, who's going to talk a little bit more about that.
I know for me, as someone who was, a closeted kid growing up in the sport, I really struggled with that, and sometimes swimming became a very unhealthy outlet. And to me now, working in the sport, where we have, rainbow lane line stickers and, diversity inclusion guides, where coaches are being aware of these things, it just makes me think, wow, if I'd had this when I was younger, what would my experience in the sport have been like, and how could it have been different? And just to know that, if there's a kid in the LGBT community that is, swimming right now and doesn't know if this is the place for them, or if they have a place, that content that we're putting out from our headquarters even, it's important for them to see that this sport does have a place for them and they do belong here, and that USA Swimming is an inclusive environment.
So I've said this before, it's really just great to have that atmosphere of being very welcoming, and I echo what Mitch had said. Is like, I wonder what my life would have been like as a closeted gay swimmer back in the day, but I knew it was still very accepting, but you just and what you see is not accepting. You just think nobody's out here to accept me, and what he said is have the coaches and have other athletes just tell everyone and just have that aura of being accepted. And it's amazing to see all these other athletes just feel like they could be themselves on the deck, because they already feel comfortable in the water, but obviously that's not all the sport is. It's what you do on deck.
I have and always will be very proud to be part of USA Swimming. I'm really proud of everything that's going on, and I think it's so exciting. The future is so bright for the sport. And I said it last night, I just think swimmers are great ambassadors that have always used their platform for positive, and we're just really empowering these swimmers to, make a lasting footprint.
Yes. And speaking of footprints, some people are going to be making some big footprints tonight in the pool. 6 p.m. at the start, and look at this lineup. We got a lot of great racing. 200 butterfly, 50 freestyle. The 50 freestyle is always a highlight. 100 backstroke, we got the world record holder Kathleen Baker in the women's side, and Ryan Murphy, the world record holder on the men's side. 200 breaststroke, I think that men's race is going to be exciting. I'm excited to see what Josh Pernod is going to do. 50 butterfly, 400 freestyle, Katie Ledecky. And remember, we're going to have the men's 400 free final here on Deck Pass Live beginning at 7:30. You don't want to miss it. And that 200 mixed medley relay, we're going to be getting some pride on the line for the swim squad, so you don't want to miss that. It's just a lot of fun. It looks pretty good. I'm looking forward to it.
The lineups are awesome. When I was looking at those, I was like, I don't know who I'm going to go for. This is going to be exciting. You guys won't want to miss that.
And one of the people you definitely want to watch in tonight's action is Ashley Twitchell, who will be in the 400 freestyle. And Ashley joins us now. Ashley, it's so good to see you.
Good to see you too.
And Happy New Year.
Thank you.
So tell us what you got for Christmas. What was the best thing for Christmas that you got?
I got a lot of things, but to be honest, I think the best thing, it's really cliche, but it was spending time with my family. The youngest of 4, and all my siblings, my parents, we were all together. My husband's family was there too, so my nieces, so that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, you can't beat family time for Christmas. I love that part of it.
It's the best, yeah.
And then you started off 2019 with a win in the 800 freestyle here at the first stop for the TYR Pro Series. How did that feel?
Yeah, that was great. My focus is definitely on open water nationals in the next few months, so this is really just kind of checking in. It's a drivable meet for me. It's about 5 hours from home, so definitely just, swimming through the training. It's trained pretty hard Monday and Tuesday.
Okay, there's rumors about how much yardage you were doing coming up to this. What's the truth?
Yeah, so I swim about, I think, between 15 and 16K on Monday, and then Tuesday was a travel day, so we drove, but swam almost 7K, I think, in the morning, and then 5K in the afternoon.
So casual.
And then that's like a taper day for you, I think.
Sort of.
So when you're at your peak, how much are you training in a day?
So right now, I'm definitely less than I used to be when I was a little bit younger. I think my body needs a little bit more recovery. So I'm typically in between 60 and 70K for a week. So still up there, but nothing, absolutely crazy or insane. Yeah,
because I've heard stories of people who are really trying to get beyond 100K in a week. I mean, I just can't imagine the toll it takes on your body.
Yeah, I've done one 100K week out of Mission Viejo. I loved it. I loved that kind of kind of stuff. I don't know if my body can
like
quite handle it
adrenaline that
anymore.
you get from it, or what is it
Yeah,
that you love?
I love kind of pushing my body to the limits, and Coach Rose was really good, at doing that with me. And I look at a workout on a paper and be like, "There's no way I can do this," and then doing it, mentally and physically, I feel like I just got so much out of that.
Right, and being 2019, this is a really big year for you for open water swimming.
Yeah.
Kind of explain the process and what that's like.
Yeah, so open water, actually, the first kind of set of qualifiers are this coming summer. Wow. So the top 10 at World Championships will qualify for the Olympics 2020. So in order to swim the 10K at World Championships, we need to place top 2 at our nationals. So it's kind of a two-step process. Yeah, so that starts in May.
Okay.
First weekend of May is our open water nationals. So
that's amazing to know that. In order to make the Olympic, to even have a chance at the Olympic team, you have to get top 2 at nationals this year.
Right.
I mean, that's a lot of pressure. I know I remember 2008, 2012, 2016, a lot of open water swimmers saying that was a lot of pressure to know that your Olympic year is decided a year early. I mean, talk about what that means to you to know that 2020 will be decided for you in May.
Yeah, I mean, I think there are definitely, pluses and minuses.
Sure.
I think one of the huge advantages is that if you do qualify in late July, you have an entire year to kind of zone in and prepare for that. And I'm looking forward to nationals. We have an incredibly deep field just in the United States, so I know it'll be really competitive. And there's always in open water, you can have someone do their first open water race and they might be phenomenal.
Sure.
So it'll be exciting and fun. I'm looking forward to it.
And Ashley, you've always been a strong swimmer in the pool, obviously. What was that transition? How did that even get on your radar to get into open water?
Yeah, so I grew up when we would vacation in Florida.
Okay.
My dad would always do like open water swims with me. We would always go for 2 weeks, and it would be like in April. So just to stay in shape, we would just do ocean swims, and I loved that. And so I just decided, and I was a distance swimmer, so it kind of just fell into place doing a 10K. So my first one was 2010 Open Water Nationals. It actually did not go so great. The water was like 60 degrees.
No.
And so I wasn't prepared for it. I got like second to last, I think. I don't remember the second half of the race. And so getting out, the 5K was 2 days later, and my parents and my coaches were like, maybe like open water is not the thing for you. But I knew that if I didn't do the 5K, I would probably never touch open water again. So did the 5K. It went a lot better. It was half the distance.
Sure.
And then that next year at nationals, when I qualified for my first international team, and it kind of just snowballed from there.
So we have some footage here that I'm so curious to kind of talk through with you. This is in 2018 Nationals, you said, in Arizona.
Yeah. Yep, Tempe.
This is a start. I can't even wrap my head around what this would be like doing this. I mean, are you getting kicked? Are you getting punched? Are you getting elbowed? What is this like?
Yes, all the above, definitely. Kicked, elbowed, punched, kind of everything. And so the key is really just to kind of try to stay up on top of the water and have a little bit of speed, which I think is why these kind of meets are still important for me to do. And having that speed so that you're not kind of stuck behind and, getting pulled under. And
that contact sport.
Yeah, it is. It's definitely a contact sport. And from what I've heard, I've obviously never done a male race, but from what I've heard, the females are a little more aggressive even than the males. So yeah, internationally, it's pretty crazy. Yeah, and obviously, I mean, there's officials, but they can't see what's going on underwater. Right. So. Yeah, it definitely is it's a contact sport.
And another serious question. So at the end, you saw that you have to reach up and touch. Okay, you just did a 10K. Is that that's probably the last thing my arm would want to do.
It is, but it's also like the best feeling in the world knowing that you're about to finish. So it's like, I think you get like that adrenaline rush of like, I have one more stroke and then I'm like done and I can like hang out for the rest of the day. And yeah.
You know what I find fascinating is a lot of these open water races are decided by like tenths of seconds.
Which you wouldn't expect.
Yeah, I mean, after 2 hours of swimming, that is decided by that close. I mean, it's like the last 500 down that chute that you guys are sprinting your guts out just to be able to win that. I mean, sometimes when you're swimming, are you thinking, oh my gosh, I can't believe it, all the swimming, it's coming down to 0.2 of a second?
Yeah, absolutely. And even like, when you're at like the 7-8K mark, like it's hard not to think ahead and be like, I know the last 500 is going to be a sprint. But again, I think that's why the pool swimming is so crucial and has been so helpful. Having that speed at the end, that kick at the end, and even, I mean, the 10K definitely, but the 25K at World Championships, a lot of times will come down to like the 200-meter sprint, and it's like, it's a 5.5-hour race. Yeah, it's crazy.
You love the 25K.
Not so much a fan of the 25K. I've done one.
One and done.
Yeah, I did it with Emily Brenneman. Luckily, we were right next to each other, so help each other out. That was in Russia 2015. I'd already raced a 5K and the team 5K, and then had the 25K after that. But
what's kind of the craziest conditions that you've ever been under in an open water swim?
I would say 2011 Open Water Nationals. So that was, I did the Open Water Select Camp that I got invited to, and then that race was like the culmination of the camp. It was my second ever Nationals, And the day of the 10K, it was like 6 to 7 foot swells. And so the feeders were out on a boat actually out there, and a lot of them were getting seasick and throwing up off the side. Yeah, and then 2 days later, it was in Fort Lauderdale. 2 days later, it was the 5K, and it was like stiller than a pool.
Crystal clear.
Yeah. So you just never know, which is part of what I love about it. You have different variables all the time.
Any sharks? Shark sightings?
Never during a race. When I've been training, like back in high school,
I would be out so
that'd
fast.
be it. I'd say, okay, I'm just pool swimming for me. I'm sorry, that's it for me.
So getting back to pool swimming, will we see you at a lot of the Pro Series stops? Obviously, we talked about the trials that you have. That's probably obviously your main focus right now. What does it look like leading up to those?
So at this point, this will likely be the only pool meet I'll do up until then. I'm going to Doha for Open Water World Cup in February.
Awesome.
Yeah, and then I've qualified for the 1500 at Worlds.
Congrats.
In the pool, so I'll be doing that.
Good
so
for you. You're such a
kind of
stud
fun
muffin.
to balance both. Keeps it interesting and fun.
And I'm sure you're probably thinking in the back of your mind it'd be great to be a pool and open water swimmer in Tokyo too.
Yeah, what a feat.
Absolutely.
That would be incredible. We're rooting for you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us, Ashley. We're really looking forward to seeing you race
in
the 400 freestyle tonight in Knoxville. So you definitely want to see her 6 p.m. on the Olympic Channel, and then after all that, we're going to have the men's 400 freestyle final and the mixed 200 medley relay. So don't miss out here on Deck Pass Live. So Ashley Twitchell, Caitlin Sandel, everybody here, thank you for watching. We will see you tonight.
Thank you.